afternoon, hello, and welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, also known as TOCNS, TOCNS. This show is an amalgam of strange, weird, bizarre, off-the-wall, and otherwise things you don't normally see anymore from most news sources these days. During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss. For links to those articles, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Aozander, and today is Friday, Freya's Day, October 14th, 2022. My brain just died for a second there. Anyway, let's get on to the news, shall we? Starting us off from Rebel News. Virginia Democrat lawmaker drafts legislation to criminalize parents who refuse to affirm their child's gender identity. Oh, God. Here we go. Democrat lawmaker announced new legislation that would prosecute parents if they do not affirm their child's choice of gender identity. Virginia Delegate Elizabeth Guzman made the announcement saying that she seeks to introduce a bill that will hold parents criminally liable for not affirming their children. Quote, the day that Governor Youngskin wanted to implement this policy, I immediately texted the policy and the policy lead of that committee and said this is how we're going to push back, end quote. Guzman said to ABC 7 News on her bill of her bill on Thursday. So I was talking about this earlier in Discord, and the fight is really going to come down to right now the mama bears, as my dad calls them, all of the mothers, pushing back against all of the wokeness and stuff like that in schools that are really being pushed, and I have a lot to say about this. I'm just gonna, long story short, it's scary. I'm not gonna get into more details than that. It's just frightening what we're going into. So let's move on up. We got some more here from Rebel News. California bans companies from charging a pink tax on customers. So this is oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, because so essentially all these feminine products, it's the same exact thing as the male products, but they just color it pink and price it higher to give the illusion that it's specially designed for female whatever, when it's actually not. It says here, California has banned the pink tax on consumer goods, effectively prohibiting businesses from selling products for women at a higher price than men's products. What I was just saying. The measure AB 1287, which was signed into law last month by Gavin Newsom, finally he actually does something right for once, stated that a business, quote, shall not charge a different price for any two goods that are substantially similar if those goods are priced differently based on the gender of the individuals for whom the goods are marketed and intended, end quote. Good. I never thought I'd ever agree with this guy. This move comes following a push by critics of the pink tax, which is a widely documented phenomenon where companies design two sets of the same product with marked up prices for the products marketed toward women. So, yeah, right there. So, but yeah, of course, for further reading on this topic, please refer to the description, the underbar. It has links to all of these, actually, I believe. Does it? Let me check. It should. Yeah, it does. Okay. Anyway, moving on up. This happened today, unfortunately. Beloved Harry Potter actor Robbie Coltrane passed away at the age of 72. The guy who played Hagrid. May he rest in peace. Beloved Scottish actor Robbie Coltrane, best known for his role as Hagrid in the Harry Potter series of movies, has passed away at the age of 72. Coltrane's agent, Belina Wright, confirmed the news that the actor had died in a hospital near Falkirk, Scotland. Describing Coltrane as a unique talent, Wright added that the actor's role as Hagrid, quote, brought joy to children and adults alike all over the world, end quote. So, yeah. May he rest in peace. Yeah, that's really important. While we were doing the history show earlier today, actually, one of my friends in the server posted, while we were actually doing the burst, he posted a news article to this, and I unfortunately didn't see it, so I couldn't talk about it back then on that show earlier today, but now I can talk about it here. And this is really sad. I mean, I was never really a fan of Harry Potter, but he hammered Hagrid out of the park, and it's sad whenever we lose celebrities, or people that we idolize or we've enjoyed, one way or the other. So But yeah, as I've said, may he rest in peace, and we shall see him. We shall see him again when it's our turn. So let's move on up here. Meat for the elite. Warning over threat of methane tax. More from Rebel News here. The traditional Aussie barbecue will be a thing of the past if Labour pledged to cut methane emissions. Nationals leader David Litterproof has warned for Little Proud. The government is expected to announce this month that Australia will join an American-led push to cut methane emissions by 30% over the next decade. The push comes as New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern infuriated farmers by announcing a plan to tax livestock births. Litterproof said that any moves to cut methane in Australia would make meat unaffordable and be the death of barbecue. Death of barbecue being a quote. So, yeah. Yeah, that's not good. So now they're going to start adding a methane tax to meat. So this is how they force us to eat bugs. Well, time to get your own cows, huh? We should all become farmers. Okay, let's move on up here. More from Rebel News. Chinese police station in Sydney flew under the radar until now. Here we go again. A Chinese police station set up in Sydney was similar to dozens around the world being used by the Chinese Communist Party to track down dissidents, a human rights organization has claimed. Human rights watchdog Safeguard Defenders told the ABC China had established police stations known as contact points in 30 different countries under the pretext of helping citizens renew national ID cards, passports, and driver's licenses. But the group alleges these stations are also being used to track down and facilitate the return of dissidents to China. The ABC reported this week that an official contact point had been established in Sydney in 2019, but flew under the radar in the Australian and international press. The ABC was careful to say it was not aware of any evidence it has been utilized for any of the activities suggested by Safeguard Defenders about other overseas sites, end quote. That was the whole thing was a quote there. Safeguard Defenders spokeswoman Laura Harris said that the police stations were a risk to Chinese people in Australia who oppose the CCP and to their family members still in China. So yeah, this is a serious issue here. The whole world's just been infiltrated. Everything's just gone to craziness, and there's obviously no simple solution to anything. Everything is so intertwined. This is going to be, the next 10 years are going to be extremely brutal, people. So hunker down and, going to have to fight it. Let's move on up here to Oddity Central. The world's smallest chicken is taking the Chinese pet scene by storm. Rootin' Chicken, a domestic hybrid dubbed the world's smallest chicken, has become incredibly popular in China lately, fueling a veritable pet craze. This is interesting. Technically, the Rootin' chicken is not a chicken. It is a cross between a quail and a partridge, but people have dubbed it the world's smallest chicken, and a nickname is stuck. To be fair, it fits so, as the birds are about the size of an average human fist and weigh only about 50 grams. They are super cute as well, and their size makes them suitable for relatively small enclosures that come with lights, plants, stairs, and even dollhouse-like sleeping quarters. Well, that's really cool, So, if you're gonna have chickens, have chickens for the eggs and the meat, have animals for the right reasons. This is just more instances of humans owning things for the sake of owning things. I mean, I don't want to sound like a leftist, but they're animals. They need to be free. So, unless they serve a purpose other than just, eye candy, then yeah. Anyway, let's move on up. Man allergic to his own orgasm actively avoids sleeping with girlfriend. Well, I'm not going to read about this because it might go against the terms of service. But yeah, link to this will be in the description below. And that's just awful. Man. Anyway, let's see here. More from Oddity Central. Doctor removes 23 forgotten contact lenses from patient's eye. Yeah, this is why I have these. I don't care how they made me look. They help me look. California ophthalmologist recently shocked the internet by posting a video of herself extracting 23 forgotten contact lenses from a patient's eye. Last month, Katharina Kurtiva, an eye doctor out of Newport Beach in California, posted an Instagram video of herself carefully removing a few contact lenses from a patient's eye. A few maybe isn't the right word to use in this context, seeing as Kurtiva claims to have removed no less than 23 old contact lenses from her patient. An elderly woman had forgotten in her eye for months, maybe even years. The video went viral a few days ago, leaving millions scratching their heads about someone could simply forget that so many contact lenses in their eye. Yeah, that scares the hell out of me. You know, like, what happens to the eyelashes you get in your eye that you don't get out? You know, like, they do pile up in the back, and then they get digested somehow. I don't know. They get reabsorbed back into the body, but that's frightening to think that there's foreign objects behind my eye just slowly melting away. Let's move on up here. More from Oddity Central. Gadget Funeral, the lucrative service of preserving old and broken gadgets. A unique gadget funeral service allows people to preserve outdated and broken devices that they have become attached to. They say that you shouldn't get attached to material things, but most of us can't really help it. Whether it's our first car, the house we grew up in, or even an old phone, we tend to get attached to our worldly possessions. And since mobile phones and tablets have become almost an extension of ourselves, it makes sense that some of us have trouble upgrading even when it's obvious that our old gadgets are struggling. That's where China's gadget, once again China, okay, gadget funeral service business came in, allowing users to preserve their obsolete devices as framed, deconstructed works of art that can be hung around and admired forever. So that's pretty cool. You know, I'd wait till something like that pops up more domestically. You know, but yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. An old, wow, look at an old phone, old remote. Or is that part of the phone? I think that's all the phone. Yeah. So, an old watch. 3DS. Interesting. Let's move on up to the Mirror. Warning to drivers over 55 as new highway code rules pose significant risks. Experts say that there is a significant cause for concern for drivers over the age of 55 since a number of new highway code rules were brought in this year. Research suggests that not enough people are aware of the new rules, posing a risk to themselves and fellow drivers. According to a new survey, just 1 in 10 UK drivers would be able to pass their theory tests if they were to retake them today. 1 in 5 drivers over the age of 55 admit they have not retrained their knowledge of the highway code since passing their test. With a large chunk of drivers having not revisited the rules, experts say it poses a risk to all road users. You should renew your knowledge every single year. Every single year in January, go down to your DMV or, go. This is UK here, so I don't know what they call it over there, but in the US out here, it's the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, and get a driver's guide. It tells you all the old rules, all the new ones, all the ones like in the works. Like, oh hey, be aware this may pass later this year. It's in the Senate or whatever. Like every year get a new driver's handbook, and it's not that hard. Like in the DMV now it costs like $1. Like whoop-de-doo. Like driving is a privilege, not a right. And I know I'm just going off about this, but that is a 2-ton death machine with controlled explosions under the hood. Do not screw around. Update yourself. Stay in practice. Okay? And, then the world will be a slightly better place. It's not that difficult. Moving on up to more from the Mirror here. We can't get a new mortgage, so we're raffling off our family home for €3 a ticket. For £3. I don't know. I think that's pounds, I think. Yeah. Euros, no. Wait. A couple have decided to raffle off their home because they can't get a new mortgage, they revealed. Declan Garrett and his wife Leonie Webb are auctioning off their 4-bedroom family home for why can't I talk? Family home for just £3 a ticket. With 7 kids under the age of 12, the couple were struggling to fit the whole family around the dinner table as well as on the sofas to watch TV in their converted bungalow. After repeatedly being turned down for a mortgage due to the size of their brood, the family of 9 opted for an unconventional way of selling their home in Western-super-Mare in North Somerset. The couple did research online and realized they could auction off 300,000 tickets for a €3 a pop to raise the funds for a new home. I might just purchase a ticket, because why not? Then I can sell it for market value or something, or figure out something, I don't know. But yeah, go check this out. 2 more articles here. One from UPI. World's oldest practicing doctor at the age of 100 has no plans to retire. Well, that's all cool and all, but I'd rather have my doctor be a little bit younger, No offense to you, man. A 100-year-old Ohio man who holds a Guinness World Record for being the world's oldest practicing doctor says he has no plans to retire anytime soon. Dr. Howard Tucker of Cleveland was initially certified as the world's oldest practicing doctor in February of 2021 when he was 98 years and 231 days old. Tucker, who is now 100, still continues to work full-time with his typical day lasting from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Good for you, man. Like, it's admirable, like the work ethic in this guy is amazing. Because think about this: when you retire, then what do you do with your life? Do you have any hobbies? Do you have any interests? Or are you just gonna fester in your home and slowly go insane? People need activity. You need to have something, and if you're not working, you gotta keep yourself occupied. Like what I do with this show. Like, I can't get a job out here in California because of this. So gotta do something, man. Gotta do something with your life. Let's move on up to our last article here. Another one from UPI. Levi's jeans from 1880s auctioned for $87,400 after mineshaft discovery. The pants were found in an abandoned mine in the American West by self-described denim archaeologist Michael Harris and were sold at Durango Vintage Festivus, a 4-day celebration of denim on the outskirts of Aztec, New Mexico. The jeans, which feature a buckle-back adjuster along the seat, were purchased by Kyle Hunter and Zip Stevenson. Hutner paid 90% of the price, while Stevenson contributed the remaining 10. Stevenson, who owns and operates a Denim Doctors repair shop in Los Angeles, said the pants were a rare discovery. Quote, "These jeans are extremely rare, especially in this fantastic worn condition and size," end quote, he told CNN. So, yeah, go check it out. That's awesome. Like, I was wondering if that had anything to do with the Cerro Gordo stuff, because I've been following that guy. Anyway, that appears to conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. I stream this on my channel currently, the Aozander one, but we're gonna. I gotta get us onto Twitch. I gotta see if I can switch us to Twitch, Anyway, for your dose of different, odd, and otherwise unknown news, we stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. For all of you and all of us, I was Aozander, and you are you, until you catch us next Monday, actually. Or, if you enjoy history, check us out 10 in the morning tomorrow, Pacific time, for TDH, the State and History, our history show. Anyway, whatever you do, if you do so wish, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until later, toodles!